Hello and welcome to our viewers from around the world. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and MC here at School Learning. And I'm here today with Alyssa Schnell. And Alyssa will be presenting at the Gold Online Lactation Conference of 2021. And we're sitting here just chatting a little bit about her background and about her upcoming presentation. So welcome, Alyssa.
Hi, Kristen. Thank you for having me.
So wonderful to have you here. We had you at Gold before, right?
hmm
And that was before we even had our cameras going. So this will be a whole new, wonderful, interactive experience here for you as well as for our viewers. So for the viewers who don't know you yet, tell us a little bit where in the world are you, and tell us a bit about your background.
Sure. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, in the U.S.,
Mhm.
and I've been an IBCLC for almost 11 years. And before that, I was a LaLeche League leader. And it really started out with having a little difficulty breastfeeding my first child and getting so much love and support and guidance for not only breastfeeding and mother, but also mothering through LaLeche League. And then when we were expecting our third child through adoption, um, got even more support from LaLeche League, but found that in general there was a lack of information out there about nursing an adopted child. It was
Mhm.
out there, but a lot of it was outdated or it was very limited. And I felt like I was just kind of going it on my own. And fortunately, I had the support of LaLeche League. I had the knowledge of being an experienced breastfeeding mom, and it went extremely well. But I wanted to take it to the next level. I wanted to be able to help parents beyond what I could do as a LaLeche League leader. I wanted to be able to help them in a clinical way, the way that I didn't have the help that I needed. And so I became an IBCLC, and I also wrote Breastfeeding Without Birthing, which is designed to be a guide for both, to be used by both parents and professionals, for parents who are interested in inducing lactation. So that could be an adoptive parent like myself, an intended parent through surrogacy, foster parent, or a non-birthing parent in a same-sex female couple. Those are typically, and it could also be a trans woman who's interested in inducing lactation. So lots of situations where non-gestational parents may want to breastfeed, and I wanted to just open the doors and provide the information and support that I wish that I had.
Wonderful, a wonderful service that you're providing there. And it's interesting how it all started off, right? The wonderful support you received from La Leche League, and to many parents, La Leche League has really been so wonderful and helpful. And then you reach that, area where you feel like, oh, I need to learn more. I need to have more information. I need more support, bringing, an adopted child to nurse an adopted child, and there wasn't much out there. So let me ask you this: how long ago was that you were looking into this topic to begin with? And do you see that things have changed? Is there more available now on the topic?
Yeah. So my daughter is 15. So 16 years ago that I was sort of starting that journey. And I certainly like to think things are much better now. That's been my goal, is to change that.
Right.
But there certainly is a very long way to go. And I can give you one example. Last year I was in a carpool with a local OB. It just happened to be she was an OB, and we were meeting with each other to get to know each other before the carpool. And so I told her what I did and how I focused on induced lactation. And she basically slammed her hand on the table and she says, I have to tell you, I'm an OB and I did not even know this existed. And I think that this is very, very common, that, doctors, OBs, GYNs, pediatricians, they don't even know inducing lactation exists. So we do have a long way to go. I found that adoption agencies and surrogacy agencies are becoming more knowledgeable about the options, and they are just now starting to let their clients know that this is available. But yeah, there's still, so in lactation, I think we're moving forward, but if people need to know to call us to begin with, right? And
Right.
this is probably where a big area where we still need a lot of work.
Absolutely, and you're right. It's a perfect example what you brought. There is now more information available within the lactation community, IBCLCs, maybe even La Leche League. They know now something might be available to them that they can look into. Resources are there, but then you have care providers like OBs, maybe even midwives or a pediatrician who don't know about this, right? So it's really important. It seems like not only educating other lactation professionals, but other professions out there as well.
Yeah, so I encourage, all the participants in the conference too, to tell people, when you have an opportunity, all the ways and all the people who have lactation open to them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And also the families, often they probably have no idea that this might be available to them as well when they're looking into adoption, or if it's not, or if a same-sex couple, for example, that both of them are able to chest feed their baby as well. So tell me about that, what you've seen in there in your area there.
Yeah, so when I first started doing this work, just was reaching out through, adoption or adoptive parents, and realized that surrogacy was another way that people were growing their families as non-gestational parents. And then it was really much more recently that I started having clients that were same-sex female couples.
Mhm.
So that's an area that's really opening up. It's very fascinating because it's different in the sense that in all the other situations, there's one primary nursing parent.
Mhm.
So now it's not only about inducing lactation, but balancing the roles between two people. And it certainly has its challenges, but it also is extremely a beautiful way for the parents.
Yes.
Many of us co-parent, but it's just another way you can co-parent.
Yeah.
Like some parents were telling me recently that said, I don't know how just one person does this. I just thought it was so great, to have somebody else share it. I mean, breastfeeding is a joy, but it's also work, and to have
Mhm.
somebody else to help with that
Mhm.
um,
No, and
is quite amazing. Yeah.
absolutely. And breastfeeding is not just about nutrition or chest feeding as well here, but also about nurturing, bonding, skin to skin. So there's so much going into this that is so beneficial,
Hmm.
not only for the baby but also for the parents there as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about your presentation. I love the title. It's called ReLATCtation,
Yeah.
Transition the Exclusively Bottle-Fed Baby to Nursing. That sounds amazing. So tell us a little about what you're going to be presenting on there.
Sure, sure. So this kind of comes originally out of my research on nursing an adopted baby,
Mm,
because oftentimes babies come to their parents as newborns, but they could also come as older babies or
yeah.
toddlers, and the parents may still be interested in breastfeeding or chest feeding. But obviously, there are other situations where that happens too. We think about relactation,
Hmm.
a parent who didn't initiate breastfeeding or chest feeding, or who started it, stopped, and wanted to resume. And there's that lactation piece of it, but there's also the other half of getting this baby who's used to bottle feeding to the breast
Hmm.
and chest. So that's probably more common than my original research on adoption. And but whatever the reason is, this baby's acclimated to taking a bottle.
Yeah.
How do we get that baby to learn how to breastfeed or chest feed? And the way what I found is, originally I thought I'm going to meet with some parents one time, get the baby to the breast or chest, and we'll be done. And I think that was the expectation for the parents as well. And
Mm,
one thing that I really emphasize in my presentation is that it's a process, that we make that it's a transition, and we take it step by step, or as I mentioned in the presentation, building blocks. So
yes.
we establish one level, then get it closer, closer, closer until the baby's ready to make that transition.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a process, and can have challenges as well, as I assume, right? Obviously, beautiful moments, but also maybe setbacks there as well.
Right, right. I mean, I guess with anything with parenting, sometimes it's two steps forward, one step back. But the
Hmm.
way I look at it is, even if we need to get from, here to here,
Yeah,
even if the baby only gets halfway there, it's still
still,
really important and really a big, because as close as we can get to breastfeeding or chest feeding,
yeah.
there's so many advantages to the baby.
Oh, absolutely. You mentioned something that I found interesting that do you see that a lot in parents that they expect this to be like a quick, like, okay, let's get baby on to the breast, and once baby remembers it, or maybe even, if baby has never been to the breast, do you see that parents expect that, or do you rather see the opposite, that people even didn't know that this was possible, that they could, um, that the baby could be go back to the breast or go to the breast?
Well, I think they probably wouldn't be seeing me if they didn't think it was possible. So there
Mm,
probably are those
that's a
parents
good
that
point.
just
Yeah.
don't see it. But and now that you mention it, maybe it was me. Maybe it was me that set the expectation that they did. And what's been my experience actually clinically is that when the magic happens in the office, when this baby's never latched before and then they
Mm.
latch in the office, it's usually actually not a good thing because they usually can't replicate it at home. That when it is more of a gradual transition, that's when it tends to be more long lasting in my experience. It's almost like if they can latch with me, then they think it's me who did it,
Ah.
right? And I'm not there all the time. Whereas if it's a gradual process, I think the parent takes more ownership in it.
Exactly. It sounds to me like that as well. The parents takes, seeing like, yes, I can do this. I don't rely on the expert to help me with this. It's happening here at home. It's a process, and I can do this with the baby together as a team.
Yeah, it's a dance, right?
It's a dance. Absolutely. Well, Alyssa, thank you so much for spending time here with me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm looking so much forward to your presentation here.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
And thank you again, and to our listeners and viewers here. The presentation ReLATCtation, Transitioning to the Exclusively Bottle-Fed Baby to Nursing, is available live on April 6th of 2021, and it is part of the Gold Lactation online conference of 2021. To find out more information about this presentation and the other presentations in the conference, we ask you to visit goldlactation.com. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye bye.